Hello, everyone. It is currently October 18th, actually, because it's 12:02 a.m. Technically, it's like Saturday, but this is Friday night for me. I passed this account on Thursday. I am a funded trader now with Top Step. I've been here before. This isn't the first time I've reached this, but it is super exciting because it wasn't without a lot of effort and a very different approach that I've taken in the past, something I've never really done before. I want to go through the stats. I want to go through why it's a big deal for me and also why it's not a big deal and my approach psychologically to prepare myself in the best way I can, learning from previous mistakes to hopefully walk my way to a payout. First, the stats of this account, how I managed to pass. So we've got a whole bunch of fun analytics. The nerd stuff. I won't spend a lot of time here because honestly it's boring and it's really only applicable to me. Trade win was 44%. This is skewed. A lot of times I will add to my positions. So, like when you saw earlier, some days had like 10 trades or even 30 trades. It was likely under 10 on that huge day. And really, most days it's like somewhere between like 2 and 5 trades. But when I add into a position, I add contracts, and every time you click buy on a contract, even if it's just the same trade, the same position, it counts as an entire trade. When it's really like if I press buy 3 times, put on 3 contracts, it says it's 3 trades. It's not. The stat I find funny on this one is profit factor because in order to make a net $3,000 of profit, I lost $11,000 and made $14,000 and stayed within that $2,000 of max drawdown and managed to not hit the $3,000 of max profit. So there was a lot of break even trading to finally reach that point. But I stayed within the targets and I'm happy about that. I'm proud of that. Another interesting part here is my average win duration is nearly 3 hours. That's a really long time. A lot of the trades I was taking, which I've never done before, I would open an Asia session and let them run all the way through London. I live in America. I would open the trade, I would go to sleep, and then wake up to either a stop loss or take profit. Made for some rough nights of sleep. It's hard to not check your phone, looking for notifications, and watching the charts. But a lot of the trades I made then actually won, which was interesting to me. I find a lot of my targets hit during London session, and I'm not going to get up at 3 a.m. I don't want to do that. Why is it a big deal that I passed the funded account? To me, I've taken a very different approach and invested a lot of time. Like, I work hard for this. This is not an accident. There's been a lot of time invested in journaling and back testing, hindsight testing, you name it. I've invested easily 1,000 hours into all of this, probably multiple thousands of hours into all of this. So this is not like a fluke. This is not an accident. It's also maybe not the new norm. I'm not treating it as if, oh, I'm just profitable now. I haven't got paid. But there was significant amounts of work to where that it's not so much as of a celebration as if it's more like, all right, this was coming. I worked for this. This is the step. Like this is the I don't want to say expected because it sounds cocky, but I worked for this, and this was the goal, and the goal was presented, and I worked a lot of. I spent a lot of time. I practiced. I journaled like crazy. People all the time on Twitter when I would post like my journals or back testings or whatever, and say you're working too much, like you're spending too much. Profitable people would say they didn't spend as much time as me, and that's something that hit me really hard. Honestly, when I would post my journals or my back testing sessions or whatever, they would say, I didn't work as hard as this and I make a ton of money. And I'd be like, wait a minute, something's not right. Just to say, I've spent a lot of time working very hard. And it makes me excited to be at this stage. And in that same regard, there's a couple mindset approaches that I try to keep to myself as I'm approaching this funded account. So it's a big deal. I'm excited. It's happy. Like, this is good. This is great. I funded. Next stage. Now for the why it's not a big deal. I'm not paid yet. Whole point is to get paid. This is really just congratulations. You get to pay this prop firm more money. So I'm not paid yet, but I'm closer. Now it can feel like a really big deal, and that's messed with me in the past. You get funded, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's actually real now. So I need to take this seriously. I need to trade differently. I need to trade more carefully. Maybe I should take this trade that I wouldn't normally take, or maybe I shouldn't take this trade that I would normally take. And you start to mess with it and get serious, and you get it in your head, and it's a different hard stage. And I've been in a fun art account before, and I've failed it and made these mistakes in the past where I start to alter my trading because I think of it differently. It messes with my head. Because it's real money. Like, there's an opportunity to make real money. That is the goal. That is the entire point of why we spend so much time trading, is to make real money. And now it's really close, and it feels possible. It feels like it's right in front of your hands, like it's there. And it's been a challenge for me in the past, especially to say it's not there. Trade the same way you got here, and then the money will come. Process over profits. Preach it all the time. It's much easier said than done. Some of the favorite strategies I've kind of tried to incorporate lately, and especially now, is I'd say like 3 main ideas. The first one is it's not life-changing money. And that can sound like it's a cocky point of view, but a $500 payout or an $1,000 payout, it won't change my life. And I know that comes from a privileged position. I work and have a normal job. A payout that size wouldn't, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm gonna get a house and a car. Like, it would be thrilling. I would be over the moon, so happy to get a payout. Like, that is the goal, and I would be just completely overjoyed to get a payout. That would be awesome. That'd be great. I'd love it. But it's not like, oh my gosh, like, I've won, and I'm financially free. No, well, you're not there. The second is if I keep this account and if I get a payout, then I'll have it for a while, maybe a month, and maybe I'll blow it on a couple months, or maybe I'll blow it on a week. 6 months from now, will I remember this account? Maybe. Will it matter to me if I still have it? If I still have it, it's likely that I will have scaled and have much more too. If I don't have it, then I will have probably gone through others as well. So in 6 months, maybe it'll matter. A year? Probably not. 2 years? No. 5 years? Definitely not. So it matters right now in this moment, but in the future looking back, I won't remember this account. And on top of that, a concept I really like is cosmic irrelevance. I'm a human. I'm gonna die one day. I live on Earth, in the galaxy. Like, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die anyway. Who cares? Who cares about any of this? Is any of this a big deal? And that's a pretty morbid perspective, but it keeps me grounded in just focusing on, I'm just gonna do what I did to get here, because none of this really matters. I'm not paid. It's not gonna change my life. It's exciting, sure, but in order to actually succeed, you need to stay grounded. And there's been times where I've gotten to this stage and not been grounded, and I've just blown it real quick, and it's been like, well, why did it didn't even matter to get here. And so I've taken this significantly more grounded approach, and I think that'll help quite a bit. It's exciting. Happy to get here, but I'm not paid yet. And that's the next goal. That's the next step. Yeah. Good stuff. Good day. Good week. Feels good to pass. Feels good to pass. Hopefully, payouts coming soon. And this is a completely different style of trading. I'm trading all around the clock. But we'll see where it gets me. It got me here. We'll see if it can get me to a payout.